Oh, beautiful. What is going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now we are finally getting some more progress on the shallow reef kind of lagoon office tank, and I am super excited because I just got the new ESHOPPS Aquos Sump. And this is a thing of beauty. Now this is truly a beautiful sump. In the past, I've always used glass sumps as my first acrylic sump, and this thing is gorgeous. Having like all the clear, the white, the blue, like it's gonna look absolutely amazing in the lagoon stand. Does come with the 2 pipes if you want to use it for your drain pipes. I'll likely hard pump it, but it's nice to have that option. And we have our lid for the filter sock chamber. So this holds 1 7-inch filter sock. Now I'm probably going to change this one to a filter roller. So a couple little tweaks for it. I almost feel bad modifying this because the sump looks gorgeous. That baby blue and the white just look. Now to start, we have 2 drain holes. So these are 2 1-inch drains, and they go into the back chamber and overflow into the 7-inch filter sock. Now I appreciate there's a 7-inch rather than the 4 inches, as it gives you a lot more to work with. And this lasts a lot longer than dealing with kind of changing a bunch of little 4-inch socks. So big filter sock holder is always a big bonus. Now one really cool thing that the ESHOPPS has is their ECD, or their ESHOPPS channel design. And what that does is split the water to 2 different paths. So if we look in the side here, the first one flows under the sock, and it comes underneath and over to the skimmer chamber. So being able to separate it kind of helps give you more higher flow for your skimmer and a bit lower flow for your refugium. Now if we look down the side of here, we have a couple little holes. So that's for water to flow into the refugium chamber, as well as if the sock overflows, it also comes into the refugium chamber. From there, the refugium can overflow back into the return pump chamber. It does have this little removable filter, so if you catch any bits of Chaeto little particles, so they don't get sucked back into your return pump and back into the tank. Now this of course matches the lovely blue color. Now if we look at the channel design, the water flows underneath, so this is the higher flow that goes into the skimmer chamber. And we also have this awesome little adjustable baffle, so that means we can adjust how much height, water height, is in the skimmer chamber to get that tuned perfectly. There's also lots of room in here if we want to run a media reactor, which we're definitely going to do. And from there it flows over into the return pump chamber and back up into the tank. Now the one nice thing about having it kind of all condensed is you have your 2 pipes, return pump, all in the same area. So it keeps your plumbing nice and neat, and it's a very cool compact design. That's all really thanks to the ECD kind of channel design. Now the sump is so beautiful that I almost feel bad modifying it. I could just use a mesh sock in here, but I do have a bit of obsession with the filter rollers now and just not washing socks constantly. So I am going to be modifying it to fit the lovely ClariSea filter roller. Now the filter roller definitely does fit the opening, and it should be able to hang on the edge of this. I'm just gonna have to open that circle up a little bit bigger and make it into a square, and then this should fit in there perfectly. The only one tricky bit will be lining up the hole for the intake into the back of this. So I'm gonna have to somehow connect the pipe to wherever the hole pokes through once I get that routed out. So that should sit nicely inside, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Should allow me to go, a couple months before changing it, especially on a bit of a smaller system, and keep the tank, sump, and water looking absolutely pristine. So super stoked for this. So I got the filter roller to fit. It took a bit of trimming, cut a few notches out the side. Not gonna lie, I felt bad cutting a brand new sump and filter roller, but gotta do what you gotta do. So now, the ClariSea Sk5000 fits in perfectly. I got this tube lined up with the bulkhead, so I can put my hand down the middle and screw the threads in, and that's kind of how I connect it. So that is perfect. Now for the back side, I'm using a bit of flex pipe, which is going to connect the lower bulkhead to the upper bulkhead. Now the fittings that come with it are a little bit smaller than standard ones, so I'm going to have to drill it out a little bit, just fit in my own bulkhead. That way I can get it kind of connected to the flex tubing. So let's drill this a bit bigger and we'll get it hooked up. Beautiful. All right, so that's done. Next big step is just because of all these little acrylic particles, I'm gonna take it in the shower, give it a quick rinse, and we'll come back and get this plumbed up. Beautiful. So we could glue this. I don't think I'm going to bother. But we have the main drain, which will be connected to the ClariSea, and then the trickle drain will go into just fill up the sock chamber. And then because of the dual channel design, the second drain, this one will fill up and it will spill into the refugium. The refugium will spill back into the return pump. So by having that dual channel, it's very low flow through here, which kind of works well, and higher flow through the main area. The tricky part is going to be installing it for the first time. Now, if I could have just used a 3000, and I probably wouldn't have had these issues, but I like a good challenge. So a little more work to do it the first time, but after that it shouldn't be bad at all. Now, if you guys watch some of my other videos, I did one on kind of the easy way to change the filter roll, and that involves stapling the old roll to the new roll and letting it feed through it. So as long as I do that, it should be very, very little effort to change in the future. Look at this sexy beast. The ESHOPPS Sump is installed. The Aquos is looking awesome with that baby blue and the white. And we even have a little kind of matching water container for it. So that'll be for the auto top off, 5 gallons. I did plumb up everything up tonight. So everything is glued, it is plumbed in. We've got a water test next. We got our gate valve that comes into the ClariSea. And with our little flex pipe, it's plumbed into the back. The trickle drain, it just goes into the back and then it'll overflow into the refugium. And so that will flow over under into our skimmer / reactor chamber. This one's actually for the water box tank. This is kind of my placeholder for now. I'll have the smaller version of that one in here with the NAS 160. Middle chamber, I'm still debating skimmer or turf scrubber. If the turf scrubber fits in there, I'll probably do that. So we'll see what fits. And we've got the nice little Vectra return pump in the back. It's a shame it's hiding because the blue matches the blue and everything else, the blue and white theme, quite nicely. So super stoked for this. It is looking awesome. For a little dosing pump, kind of hiding up here, we got the new Comore F4 Pro. So I've been testing this out for a little while, so I'll have a video on that one eventually. And I actually just attached it with a magnet. So I got a magnet on the back of it. And since it's a steel stand, just mags it right up. So nice sleek little way to mount it, and a couple of lines will poke down and connect up. So super stoked for it. Still debating how I'm gonna lay out the control panel. I might see if I can squeeze the Elkatronic somewhere up here, and I can use that for testing my elk. Maybe my MP40 drivers up there. We'll see how that goes. I'll still gotta finish the return lines, but I got the MP40s will be in either corner. And just grab these off my main tank, and we'll have my little return nozzles above it. And it's getting there, it's getting close to get some water in it pretty quick, hopefully in the next few days, and we will get things running. So super stoked to finally get some progress on this. Next step, I'll paint that little whiteboard and hopefully water test it. Alright guys, now if you enjoyed this update, as always, hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.